This episode of the Jaguar Football Podcast is brought to you by Lorenzo's Tacos and Burritos, located at 1841 Old State Route 21, addicted to tacos. Hi everyone, I'm Carl Bierock. Welcome to week 8 of our Sequin Jaguar Football Podcast, and with us today is the head coach of the Sequin Jaguars, Dr. Nicholas Bear. Coach Bear, it must be a wonderful feeling waking up on a Friday 7-0.
Yeah, little different extended weekend, with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Happy to get the job done on Thursday night, 7-0. Then we go in this week with another short week, another Thursday night game against Hazelwood West.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's odd having those back-to-back Thursdays games, and it seems like the boys adapted very well, and you had them, and your rest of your coaches had them coached up. Exciting game, not only what happened prior to kickoff with the junior Jags forming the human tunnel, and it seems like to me that tunnel grows larger and larger each year.
Yeah, love seeing those guys out at the game. All the junior Jaguar players. Most of them know who I am by now, so I'm always trying to talk to them, say hey, ask them how things are going on. Our junior Jaguar program. All the teams are having pretty successful seasons. They're winning some games, they're having some fun, and they're learning, and that's what it's all about. And I think they got maybe one regular season game left, and then their playoffs, and then it's on to all their other sports. So. It was surely great to see them all out there Thursday night. Huge crowd, especially on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I think that crowd certainly made a difference at the beginning of the game where the stands were packed. It was almost like the Fox game. If you didn't get there early, you have a long walk ahead of you.
Yeah, we were warming up, and it was about 6:00, 6:15, and the only section left was the student section and where the band sits. And I'm like, I hope everybody made it on time to get a seat, especially some of the regulars that, may have not known what was going on. But getting the community out and watching an exciting football game, I mean, that's what it's all about.
All right, Coach. Well, I understand you have a couple plays that you would like to review with us. So we'll go ahead and start with the first one. Looks like a special teams play queued up.
Yeah, really, overall competitive football game against Parkway South. They're 3-3. They had a 1,000-yard rusher coming into the game, and they had lost to Parkway North the week before, but they had something like, 300, 400 total yards of offense. So we knew that they were going to come prepared. We knew that they were going to be ready and be game. And that definitely showed. And it kind of also shows when we don't execute, when we don't do the things that we're supposed to do, when we get caught behind the sticks, can't just wave that magic wand, and we got to make it happen. So, what was really exciting to start the game off here with a kickoff return touchdown. Extremely rare play. I don't know how many of these we've actually had in the history of the program, because sometimes it's hard to find those stats. But since I've been here, 14 years as an assistant coach, as a head coach, there's really only 2 other kick returns that stand out to me. One was in 2021 against DeSoto. Ty Kitchen returned, I guess you could call it a punt, after a safety. And then in 2018, Dylan Hawk actually returned a kickoff return for a touchdown, 95 yards against Fox in the playoffs. So we were pretty far down on. But this, I can pretty much say probably most likely 99.9% is the first time we've ever started a game off with a kick return for a touchdown. So just a fantastic play. All 11 guys fighting to get up in front of Quinn to make it happen. And I'm just going to let it roll. It's not really a play you see very often anymore, especially with the NFL. You don't see a lot of kick returns like this. Quinn does a great job staying low, all right, running his feet, got guys blocking, flying all over the field for him. And then away he goes. The sideline's partying at this point. I think we're all running to try to catch him. And then, obviously my favorite part always is the celebration. Everybody's fired up, jacked up, finding him in the end zone. Great way to start the game. Great overall play for Quinn. Very proud of Quinn. I talk about opportunity all the time. This is another guy that is getting his reps when he can. He's been on the Monday night grind as a junior, taking a lot of reps at running back and returning kicks down there. Hasn't had that many opportunities on the varsity level. Finally had some opportunity last Thursday night, and he made the best of it. And having guys like Quinn and another guy like Kyler Huckfeld, who wasn't planning on getting a whole bunch of playing time Friday night, but after the one play, he's taking every rep at wingback. That's how we are able to remain successful. So we have guys that you may not be starting, but you're always ready to be that next guy up. And
Yeah,
happy to see that
yeah.
happen for Quinn
Uh,
and Kyler
yeah,
Friday
I'm
or
sorry, I didn't
Thursday
mean to
night.
step on you there.
Mhm.
I was wondering if you could go a little bit more into that. So, you mentioned in your email that he's on the Monday grind, so he's splitting some time between
Mhm.
squads and doing everything, checking all those boxes that he needs to do to be successful. I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, that's tough. Those late Monday nights, and then you got to come out to practice and get it done on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you got a late Friday night. And the Friday night, obviously, as you're a junior, that's your ultimate goal, is to get on the field, and that's just not always the case. And especially with the size team that we have and some of the talent that we've had. So it's very important because there are a number of juniors that are in that same boat that Quinn is in, or has found him in, and it can be very easy to kind of get down. This ain't happening for me. This, but it's just one of those things. You got to keep working. You got to keep prepping. And I tell these guys all the time, you're a play away. And Quinn had his opportunity Friday, and he made the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely huge play. Great way to start it off. The crowd was into it from the beginning, and really, as you said, set the tone for the remainder of the game. And it looks like we have another play queued up here. It looks like we are on defense.
Yeah, this is a drone shot here um, of Parkway South offense versus our defense. And, I kind of hinted at a little bit. Parkway South, very competent football team, very competitive. They practice too. Their coaches do a great job scheming. And pretty early in the game here, I believe it's 6-0. They're kind of driving the field on us. They were doing a few things early to us that we hadn't quite expected, that we had to make some adjustments to later. And really, with our defense, it's kind of one of those things we've talked about last week too: bend but do not break. Prevent the big play. Keep playing hard. Wait for that other team to make that mistake, and this is the case right here. We're never out of it. And even when you're driving down the field and get inside the 10, um, we still are able to come up with a big play. And oftentimes when that big play happens, it seems to be a very similar guy, Dominic Lagrasso. I know I've said it on here before, and big time players make big time plays on big time stages, and this is one of those situations right here. You're going to see Dom. He's right out here as our cat. You got this wing back here who's getting ready. He's going to come out and try to block Dom. You're going to see Dom completely set this guy on his rear end. There's going to be a quick little pitch here to the tailback. Dom's going to be right in his face. He's going to bobble the snap, and then the ball just miraculously falls. You don't see things happen like this. The ball miraculously falls right into Dom's hands. Boom. Dom takes on the block. You see 13 on the ground. All right. 24, the ball's already bounced off his chest. He's got Dom right in his face. Dom has the wherewithal to, locate the football, find it, floats, catch it, fumble for Parkway South, or fumble on Parkway South. Now it's Seckman football. And it's one of those things where, we're in a close football game, and we've talked about this before. You had a huge interception in the Parkway West game when things were tight. This is a situation. It's 6-0. They're going into score. We go down 7-6. I think that's probably the first time we would have been down on the scoreboard all year. So, for Dom to step up and make this play, big time players make big time plays and big time stages. These are the things I'm talking about. So I'm gonna let it run again. And I'm happy for Dom. Dom is really, truly one of those guys who has made a commitment to nutrition, has made a commitment to the weight room, and you're seeing that strength and that discipline paying off on the field. If there's young football players out there, you want to know, how can I get on a varsity football field? Well, it's not enough just to be a good football player anymore. You have to also take the nutrition side special. What are you putting in your body? Are you eating enough calories? Are you getting enough protein? Are you fueling your body for your workouts? Are you getting stronger? Are you making a commitment to the weight room? Are you showing up? Does every rep matter? I can tell you every rep does matter for Dom. I've witnessed it. He shows up every day, and he's always eating. These are the commitments you're going to have to make if you want to be a Seckman football player.
Yeah, it seems like even if he's not directly involved in the play, you always see number 10 somewhere
Hmm.
near the pile,
Yep,
after every play. So good on
it's
him.
not
He's
by
having a great
accident,
year.
no doubt.
Okay, so with that big Parkway South victory, and then we have yet another Thursday night special, so to
Yeah,
speak. And so we're going to Hazelwood West, and we will put note the special start time. Not only is it a Thursday, but it's 6 p.m. We'll have that information on our Facebook page. But was wondering, Coach, if you could tell us a little bit about Hazelwood West for the folks not familiar with their program.
yeah. Hazelwood West. Thursday night game, 6 p.m. So it's going to start an hour earlier. It's one of those things we're kind of running into. Same song and dance as they've got a lot of athletes on the field. Overall team speed, they have on us. Their quarterback, you're going to see a lot of similarities to the Pattonville quarterback, except this guy's actually a little faster. And honestly, the Parkway South kid Friday night was a little tougher to bring down than we thought too. So another one of those situations where we got a big, tall, and strong, athletic quarterback that we got to watch out for, and they're going to be fast and physical on defense. For me, honestly, this week, obviously we need to be, Hazelwood West. We need to know the things that they're doing and things like that. But the biggest focus for me is our football team. We have got to make a real commitment here over the last month of this season to keep getting better. There's moments the last couple of weeks where I felt, maybe that's not the case. And that's really where I want, and we're going to talk about it today, at practice. That's where our focus needs to be. The worst thing that we can do this week is look at Hazelwood West score from last week against Northwest. Hazelwood West lost to Northwest, I believe, 34-14. Okay. The worst thing we can do is be concerned with that. Our biggest concern, my biggest concern right now, is that our football team continues to get better every week. If we want to finish the season 9-0, if we want to win a conference championship, if we want to compete and win a district title, we have to be a better football team in a month than we are right now. If we come out, we kind of have another lazy week of practice. Oh, hey, we got this. You know what? Northwest, they rushed for 350 on these guys. Oh, Northwest beat these guys by 20. Well, we did this to Northwest, so this means it don't mean nothing. Unless we have a great week of practice, unless we're focused on ourselves, and we're trying to get better. So, for me, that's my soapbox. But that's just kind of the challenge, and that's what we're going to put to the players this week. That's what we're putting to the players this week, and something that's going to be a huge focus. How can we make sure we're getting better over the next 2 weeks of this regular season to make sure we're ready for the playoffs?
Well, Coach, you bring up a great point because there's 2 regular season games left and still a lot to be decided. Not only
Mm-hmm.
where we finish in our play for the regular season, but other teams are surging and, for lack of better terms, like peaking at the right moments.
Yeah, this is what good teams do. Good football teams are getting better as the season goes on, and they're peaking. Right around this time during playoff time, and that's something that we want to make sure our football team is doing. A lot of good football teams have lost games this year, and oftentimes you can turn that disappointment of a loss into a great week of practice. Now, I'm not saying I want to lose any football games, and I sure as hell don't want to lose the last 2. But, with us not experiencing a loss this year, it's easy to get complacent. It takes a lot of maturity to understand, where do we need to get better? Where do we need to work on? Where do we need to hold each other accountable? And if we're not going to take a loss, in the regular season, like some other good football teams in the area, how can we make sure that we're still getting better? That's where our challenge is, and that's kind of where my focus is this week, is making sure we play our best game of the season on Thursday night.
Yeah, and Coach, kind of going back to even before the season started, you mentioned that you had a talk with the seniors at your house for the annual barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Are they hitting your expectations at this point in the season where you thought they should be, or
Mm-hmm.
have they exceeded it? Wanted to get your thoughts about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, all of our goals that they set are still on the table, as far as winning a conference championship, finishing 9-0. Those are all the outcome based things, obviously. But the little things that we talk about, we've been doing it, and they've been working hard. It's a long season. I mean, shoot, we're 7 weeks into the games. We practiced for 3 weeks before that. We had camp for 2 weeks before that. So you're talking 3 or 4 months, 3 months we've been in pads. We've been lifting weights for how long? So it's easy to kind of lose that a little bit, especially if I'm not on them. And that I think this is going to be a great week to refocus on those things. And hey, this is where we're at. You're almost there. And if we want to achieve our goals, these are the things that we need to do. So, this time of year, a lot of eggs get laid on the field. Teams don't play their greatest. For whatever reason, we're dealing with teenagers, and that's the constant battle of a high school football coach is making sure that 16, 17, 18-year-olds are and doing the things they need to do to get better.
Oh, very good. It's exciting to watch, and it seems like there's a different position group or player stepping up each and every week to fill those gaps with that next man
Mm-hmm.
mentality you're looking at. So we certainly look forward to our game against Hazelwood West, and of course invite the Jaguar Nation to travel up to 70 for that special game again, 6 p.m. on Thursday. Be sure to check out our Facebook page. We'll keep you covered and make sure that you're completely up to date there. So, reminding everybody, we do have our social media sites. We have a Facebook page. We also have a YouTube page where you can watch these podcasts in HD on your TV at home. And our subscribers continue to grow, and that's thanks to you, the Jaguar Nation. We appreciate everything that you do. And Coach, we are coming up on time here and wanted to allow you to give us your final thoughts as we come into, again, another short week and almost rounding out our season. Just 2 regular season games left.
Yeah, Carl. Wanted to kind of touch on, something that's been going on a little bit this season. We talk all the time, and we talked today about it too. Opportunity. Next man up, and how great that is, and how we're able to do that, and how it allows us to be successful, and how exciting that is. But on the flip side of that, the reality is, for someone else to get an opportunity, for us to need the next man up, you know, typically somebody's lost playing time, right? Somebody's gotten injured. And that's kind of the flip side, the great side of, yeah, we have that next guy standing up, they're taking the opportunity. But then for me as a coach, it always kind of hurts because I know somebody's lost an opportunity. We know that we're dealing with injury. And it's just kind of, this has been one of those seasons where I feel like, we've been very lucky the last 3 or 4 years. And then all of a sudden this year, I feel like we've had about 3 or 4 seasons worth of guys going down. And, I know I talk about it. I say, we're playing checkers, not, we're not playing checkers. We're playing football. It's just, one of those things, we're dealing with some injuries, guys getting hurt. And, I want to make sure, all of our injured guys know, all of our injured families know, like, we're here to support you guys. And, we haven't forgot about you. And it hurts. It sucks. And, oftentimes I'm kind of that first person out there trying to kind of calm them down and let them know, hey, everything's going to be okay. And, I never have the right words. I don't pretend to at all. But I think sometimes just knowing that we're there for them, that the team is there for them, um, you know, just want to make sure all of our families know that. And, that's kind of the flip side. And it's just been a tough year with the injuries and watching guys who have worked so hard to achieve their goals not get to do that. And, we're thinking about you.
Well said, Coach. You always hate to see that happen, no matter what level of sport or just in life in general. Those type of setbacks where they put in so much effort and
Mm-hmm.
time into their craft, into their skills, to have it, taken away. So, appreciate you sharing that because that is something that we see from the sidelines. Not only you, your coaches, but also the other teammates just gathering around him and lifting him up and
Mm-hmm.
letting him know that things will be okay.
Yes, no doubt.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. And of course, check out our page. We'll keep plugging it. We don't want anyone to miss out on that special Thursday game at 6 p.m. Don't want to miss it. And, Coach, good luck this week and look forward to our next conversation.
Appreciate it, Carl.
Thank you.